What is going on? What is poppin', YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right about now, as it does help these videos get to the public and the channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly, and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you do not miss a single one of those videos that I post. It is only right, you guys. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to the Seahawks, man. I don't have too much to say about this game. I really don't. It pretty much went the way that I felt it would go. I just felt the score would be a little bit more lopsided. The Seattle Seahawks won the game versus the Philadelphia Eagles, a playoff game, 17-9. And to me, it just came down to the fact that the Seahawks were the better team. Philadelphia was just lucky to get into the playoffs this year. They've had so many injuries. They've had injuries to the offensive line, their wide receiver core, their defensive line, their secondary. They're a really banged up football team, guys. And they were very fortunate that Dak Bortles, yes, I like to call Dak Prescott at times Dak Bortles. Dak Prescott, Dak Bortles, Dallas Cowboys were absolutely terrible this year. The Washington Redskins were not a great team. The New York Football Giants were not a great team. Both those teams are picking top 4 in the draft. The Dallas Cowboys were in over their heads all year. They underperformed and disappointed all season. The Philadelphia Eagles took advantage of it. Carson Wentz down the stretch got hot. And credit to the Eagles. They had a ton of injuries. They battled through it. Just to get to the playoffs this year was an achievement in itself. And look, they were pretty much down to whatever was left of Zach Ertz, Boston Scott, and Miles Sanders. They had no deep threats at wide receiver. They had no guys to make plays on the perimeter for them. The defensive line was pretty strong, but again, they don't have a great secondary. They just had a ton of injuries, and a even bigger blow was Carson Wentz did not even last a single quarter in his playoff game. Carson Wentz got hit by Jadeveon Clowney when he was running outside the pocket. As far as the hit that Jadeveon Clowney laid on Carson Wentz, for me personally, I'm not accusing Jadeveon Clowney of being a dirty player, but it looked like a dirty hit to me. You can clearly see that Jadeveon Clowney leaned in kind of with his, shoulder and head, and kind of just on the replay, it looked like, maybe he wasn't trying to be a dirty player, but it looked to me like a dirty hit because he looked like he was aiming directly for his head and neck area when he could have just, fell on top of him, kind of pushed him down. But again, I don't know personally if he was trying to be a dirty player, but just based on the replay, it looked like that he was trying to make a dirty hit. Okay, that's just my opinion. Josh McCown had to come in and replace Carson Wentz. He went 18 for 24, 174 yards. McCown did not do bad, but there's a reason Josh McCown is 40 years old and a backup. He's just not that great of a quarterback. He's an okay quarterback. He can win you a game in certain spots, but there's just certain throws and certain plays Carson Wentz could have made for the Eagles that Josh McCown just simply could not make. And I believe Carson Wentz had enough magic in him to make the play of the game. Carson Wentz, granted, it was versus the terrible Dallas Cowboys. It was versus the terrible New York Football Giants. It was versus the Washington Redskins. But Carson Wentz, the last 3 games, just found something in him and inside of him, within himself, to just make the play of the game and to just make something happen with that big time arm he has. And he was unable to do that. He got hurt early on, didn't return for the game, and the rest was history. I just believe the team went to the tank once Carson Wentz got hurt, and that was that. McCown got sacked 6 times. He clearly was a sitting duck. And Seattle, they're the better team. They won, and I predicted they would win. However, Seattle, look, I'm going to say this right now. Seattle, they're a good team. I understand that they're 11-2 in one-score games. Like I said, I feel like Russell Wilson, you can make the argument he's the best quarterback in football. I think Pete Carroll is a great head coach, and the fact that the Seattle Seahawks are 11-2 on the year, including the playoffs, in one-score games, that tells me that when the game is close, they have the quarterback and the coaching staff to pull them over the top. They will win their share of close games if the game is close in the 4th quarter. They're always going to have a shot. And they're 8-1 on the road. They're going to potentially have to win at San Francisco if they beat the Green Bay Packers this week. They're going to have to beat the Packers on the road in Lambeau Field. So there's something to like about Seattle. However, I'm sorry, guys. I just think the Seattle Seahawks are overrated. I really do. I'm just not impressed. Ever since they lost to the Arizona Cardinals and then losing to the San Francisco 49ers at home, I penciled them off as a Super Bowl contender. I just don't think this team can win a Super Bowl. Look, Russell Wilson, he was amazing. 325 yards passing, 45 rushing yards, a touchdown. He had his best day, but Russell Wilson played a pretty clean game once again in a tough road environment. Russell Wilson just gets it. He wins road games. He's a great quarterback, but again, they are too Russell Wilson dependent. Russell Wilson was the leading rusher of the Seattle Seahawks on the day. That's not a great thing to hold your hat on, okay? It's great you have a quarterback that can do those things, but again, Travis Homer, 11 carries for 12 yards. That's not going to get it done. Marshawn Lynch, 6 carries, 7 yards. He did have a touchdown, I believe, but that's not going to get it done. They don't have a running game. That defense, they were very lucky that they did not face Carson Wentz that entire game. Josh McCown moved the football on the Seattle Seahawks. That game was way too close for my liking. I understand the Seattle Seahawks were down 3 offensive linemen. I know a talented linebacker that they had, Michael Kendricks. He was hurt. I understand they had a field goal blocked, but again, Seattle, there's just something about them where I just think they rely too much on Russell Wilson to make plays for them. It's going to catch up to them. I don't think that they should be favored to beat the Packers. I think the Packers are legit. They have a real running game, a real defense that can create turnovers and get after the passer. And I think Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is no longer the best quarterback in football, but he's still top 5. Aaron Jones is pretty good. Playing in cold Green Bay is going to be a tough task for this Seahawks team. We will really see if they are about that life next week, and I just don't think they are. Philadelphia hung around way too long. This game should have been a blowout. I just don't think Seattle has the complete team to make a Super Bowl run. I just don't see it. They don't have the horses on defense. On offense, the offensive line is bad. They're banged up right now. They're not very healthy. They had a cluster of injuries at running back that just caught up to them, and I just don't think they have a running game. They're just not overall a great team. They're a team that's good and led by their quarterback that they depend on so much to make plays. We saw versus the Ravens. We saw versus the 49ers. We saw even versus the sorry Arizona Cardinals that when Russell Wilson is not on and when this team is not clicking on all cylinders, they can definitely be had. So again, I don't think Seattle's a complete team. They're overrated to me. However, as far as the Eagles go, I am very concerned about Carson Wentz. And it's not from a talent perspective. I think Carson Wentz has all the talent in the world. However, what is an ability that he lacks? The ability to stay healthy. Guys, Carson Wentz, his rookie year, he was banged up all that second half, guys. His rookie year, he was banged up all over the place. His sophomore season, he has to have surgery to repair a torn ACL. His third season, he has back surgery. And now he cannot even last an entire quarter in a playoff game. This guy is not even 30 years old yet. Carson Wentz is scarcely very, very fragile. And I think he has all the talent in the world. He has the talent to win the Eagles another Super Bowl. Obviously Nick Foles won them the first Super Bowl, but again, Carson Wentz, he has the talent to win big in this league. But I just don't know if he can ever stay healthy. This guy's not even 30 years old yet and can't even get past a quarter of a playoff game. It's very concerning if you're the Eagles, especially due to the fact that you paid Carson Wentz all of that money. The best ability is availability, guys. Russell Wilson never hurt. All these good quarterbacks, they relatively stay healthy. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, they're hardly ever hurt throughout their entire careers, okay? So Carson Wentz, if the Eagles are going to be invested in him, he's going to have to stay healthy, especially if he's being paid over $30 million a year. And again, I think Carson Wentz still has a lot to prove. I get it. He went on a run to win the division. That was great and sweet. But if you take out Carson Wentz's MVP season, he's barely a 500 quarterback. And he barely snuck into the playoffs. He had to beat the Washington Redskins and the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys to do it down the stretch. I don't understand it. I understand the Eagles had a ton of injuries. And I understand Carson Wentz carried them the final 3 games of the season. I know the injuries were bad, but where was this Carson Wentz earlier in the season? Where was this Carson Wentz last year when he had all of his weapons, when he lost all those big games? I just don't think Carson Wentz quite yet has proven to me that he can win big long term. I believe he can, but I don't know if he can just due to his injury concerns. And again, this is a small sample size. I need more. If you're paying Carson Wentz all that money, I need him to win more than these, couple games to get to barely sneak into the playoffs versus terrible Washington Redskins, terrible New York Football Giants, terrible Dallas Cowboys. I need more. I need him to be more consistent. And I think Carson Wentz is maybe arguably a top 10 quarterback in football. But again, I still think there's more to be left on the table and to be desired with Carson Wentz. Let's not forget, guys, the Eagles chose him over Nick Foles. Nick Foles won them a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won them a playoff game last year. Nick Foles stayed healthy when he was in Philadelphia. I don't care what he's doing in Jacksonville. Nick Foles was that guy. And I believe that the Eagles could have traded Carson Wentz because I just believe that I don't care what the analytics say. Nick Foles worked in Philadelphia. He won big games in Philadelphia. And you could have got a ton back for Carson Wentz if you traded him. So again, I'm not selling my Carson Wentz stock right now, but I'm not buying any more of it, if that makes any more sense. I think that Carson Wentz has the talent to win big in Philadelphia. I think he has the personality traits to potentially do it. He has improved as a leader this year. But again, if I'm the Eagles, I'm concerned about Carson Wentz's long-term health, and I just wonder if he can live up to the burden that Nick Foles left on the table for him to live up to, okay? That's all I got to say about the game. It was a great season for the Eagles. Great coaching season by Doug Peterson, especially toward the end of the season. Again, Philadelphia just had too many injuries. Shout out to Seattle. Again, I don't really believe in them, but again, we shall see what they are about next week. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God bless day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.